Ladies and gentlemen, it's Titoclock. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Titoclock, the last one for the year, or the Chinese New Year at least. We're broadcasting to you live from Makati City, going all the way around the globe, wherever you might have an interweb connection. That's right. So speaking of which, why don't you let us know where you're watching us from? We'd love to see people like Mayan. Mayan's in town. Well, we don't know that for sure, but maybe if she tells us, we'll know. Cristiano's over here. He's back. We're back. We're all happy. Present. Okay, who else you got out there? Chris Bernetta. Let's say a few highs and hellos first before we kick this off. Rosemary, hello there. Welcome to the show. We got Lori Peinado out there. Greetings to you. Chrissy Cat as well. A few more. Punky Bulayo. What's up? Good day to you. Carmelite Spitara. Michelle Burgos. Hi. Romel Cesa, Cesa, I guess that's right. Don de Di Julio, all right, watching from San Miguel Avenue. See, that's very specific. We could have just done with Mandaluyong or around the Ortigas. Well, that's fine. That's cool. As much as you're willing to give, that's fine. Patty, JB Rib, and one more, Wooden Maker. All right, so that's it. Okay, Ronnie, hi. Last, that's it. Okay, so let's kick things off today. We've got a big show lined up for you to end the Chinese New Year. The whole gang's here present in the studio, including that little fur ball that normally draws out the raffles. Yeah, he's here. He's prepped, had his perm, smells nice, and is ready to press some buttons a little bit later on. Did you join the raffle yet? If you haven't, you still have a little bit of time, just a wee bit of time to join before we draw it out later on, about 5:30-ish, somewhere around that mark. Go to the main page. Well, if you're watching us on Facebook, just open a new tab or something like that. Just make sure you leave up something, anything. I mean, your hand up, your toe, whatever. Just something where we can draw it from, because the raffle software will pick it up from that. You see, Renee is watching from Kuwait. That's what we want to see, right? Now you see we got an idea of where you guys are. See, you got Kuwait, you got Mandaluyong, you got all sorts of places. So, Cavite. So let's kick things off with how we normally do. This is just to get us all on the same page so we know what's up. And for that, we need Chris. Chris, what you got for us, Chris? The Titoclock News brought to you by Intercare.
What's up, Tito James? Happy Friday, my fellow Titoclockers. This is Chris, and here is your Titoclock News. NTC Officer in Charge Commissioner Ella Blanca Lopez said that there are 22,298,090 SIM cards registrants as of January 18, which is 13.20% of the total 168 million active SIM subscribers. Of the 22.2 million, Smart Communications has the largest number of registrants at over 11.1 million, followed by Globe Telecommunications with over 9.3 million, and Dito Telecommunity with over 1.8 million. NTC suggested to the concerned agencies and telecommunications companies a simultaneous rollout of SIM registration in identified remote areas starting January 25. 45 areas in 15 regions were identified as remote, and those in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao will still be coordinated with the Bangsamoro Telecommunications Commission. Mandatory SIM card registration started on December 27th last year as mandated by Republic Act number 11934, or the SIM Registration Act. All mobile subscribers are required to enroll their SIM cards within 180 days or 6 months from the effectivity of the law, or face the automatic deactivation of their cards. Manila Police District, or MPD, Chief Brigadier General Andre Dizon said on Friday that 3,200 police personnel will be deployed to secure the celebrations of the Chinese New Year on Sunday. Dizon reminded spectators to wear their face masks in crowded areas and discouraged them from bringing valuables. On Thursday, Manila Public Information Office announced that the southbound side of Jones Bridge will be closed starting Saturday, January 21 at 7 p.m., while the northbound side will be closed at 10 p.m. This is to give way to the Chinese New Year countdown pyro musical to be viewed on Jones Bridge. Additionally, a portion of Banawe Street from Cuenco Street to Quezon Avenue will also be closed starting January 21 at 9 p.m. to January 22, 9 p.m. From Quezon Avenue, motorists are advised to turn back to Biak na Bato Street, turn left to Dapitan Street, turn left to Cordillera Street, and then back to Quezon Avenue. Philippine Ambassador to Washington Jose Manuel Romualdez confirmed on Friday, January 20, a report that the Philippines and the United States are in talks about potentially holding a 2+2 meeting of top diplomatic and defense officials by March. In a text message, Romualdez cited sources on the discussions about holding the first such talks in 7 years and said the agenda would include issues such as tension over the South China Sea and Taiwan. The Philippines is a defense ally of the United States, but under former President Rodrigo Duterte, it avoided criticizing Beijing. Since President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. took office last year, several top U.S. officials, including Vice President Kamala Harris, have visited the Philippines to shore up ties and discourage aggressive steps by China in the South China Sea and against self-ruled Taiwan. The Philippines and the United States have a long-standing mutual defense treaty and take part in joint training exercises each year, ranging from live fire and amphibious assaults to humanitarian missions and counter-terrorism drills. Dolly De Leon received another recognition for her portrayal in the satirical black comedy film Triangle of Sadness, as she was nominated for this year's Best Supporting Actress Award at the British Academy Film Awards, or BAFTA. De Leon, the first Filipino actor to have earned a BAFTA nomination, was announced as one of the nominees by the award-giving body on Thursday, January 19, through its Twitter page. The Triangle of Sadness is also contending for two other awards, Best Original Screenplay and Best Casting. The winners will be unveiled at the awarding ceremony in London on February 19. De Leon's acclaimed performance in the said film also received the Best Supporting Performer award at the Los Angeles Film Critics Association, as well as the Best Supporting Actress nominations at the 2022 Satellite Awards and the 80th Golden Globe Awards. De Leon was also featured in British Vogue's 2023 Hollywood Portfolio alongside award-winning actors Kate Blanchett, Eddie Redmayne, and Hugh Jackman. That's the latest from Titoclock News. And it's that time of the day to get our blood pressures in check, because we're about to see this week's set of Kamote Corner.
Here we go. All right.
What a way for the Chinese New Year.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Let's see what you got there, Chris.
All right,
Go
here we
easy.
go.
I'm gonna pace myself again.
Yes, you must. You must indeed. Here we go. Our first video, I call it Road Rage #1.
I
Attitude. Attitude agad. Ang cute maglakad ni Kuya. Wow. So there's that, and then goes back in. That's it.
And he gets away scot-free. I thought probably a good idea in hindsight. I thought the driver would come out, but in situations like this, I always tell people just don't. It's not a reflection of your manhood. It's not a reflection of anything else but your intelligence. This is not a situation that you have complete control of, right? People are crazy, armed. You don't know what's going on. When somebody's willing to do this, you can pretty much be sure that they're not thinking straight. So why would you put yourself in a situation if you went out there and then challenge this guy, right?
Right.
I know Woodenmaker, Scott and I, shoot. I know where you're coming from, but you see, the thing is, if you did walk out and shoot the guy, you're in jail. Doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong anymore. You're the one in jail. So can you imagine for a complete kamote like that, you're going to spend the rest of your life behind bars over a mirror and a kamote. It's going to haunt you for the rest of your miserable life in a whatever type of cell that you're going to
True.
share with God knows who. We're probably going to
Mhm.
be 10 times worse than this Kamote. So please, I don't want to sound too much like a Tito. I just want to end on this note. It's never, ever worth it. Guys, please trust me on this one.
100%.
We tend to have this, it's a feeling of, it's primal. We need to feel like we're defending and stuff like that. This is not anymore our primal instincts. We got to control them, because if it's just the property, if it's just
Mhm.
like just the property, let it go. Those primal instincts should only kick in when it's your absolute loved one, especially somebody vulnerable, your kid, your mom, your wife, yourself, whatever. That's fine. You got to do what you got to do. But when
Mhm.
it's property like this, just walk off. Walk off. Trust me. No reflection on your manhood or anything like that. It's a reflection of
Correct.
your weakness.
And it's a waste of energy. So,
Homily for the day.
easy, easy.
Oh, wait. Go back. Sorry, we have a loophole. Sorry, Milo. You're right. Unless, of course, you're the son of a justice secretary. Then we'll call it
Oh,
law.
yeah.
Not
That's
so funny.
true. That's true.
Funny, but not so funny because may laman yan. But I see what you did there.
The
And
shade.
yeah,
The
I
shade.
just hope the point was drummed in, guys. Really, seriously, just remember that. Just make it as your default reaction to anything like that. Breathe in 3 times, really
Mm-hmm.
deep.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I guarantee you, by the third breath, you're gonna realize not worth it.
Not worth it.
Like Roel
Waste
said.
of energy.
As Roel looks incredibly like Piolo Pascual.
That's true. Maybe that's him. Hi, Papa P. We call him Papa Roel. Hi, Papa
Papa
R.
Roel. Okay.
Here we go. Keep a cool head. That's right, Dragon X. All right, let's go to the next one. Uh, we'll just call this only in the Philippines because that's the only place I've seen it.
I put. I
Very
love it.
smart.
Oh God,
I
I
love
mean,
his balance. I
feel
don't think
guilty
I can
already
do this
for loving
even on
it.
a bicycle.
Okay, this is so irresponsible, but come on. The human inside me is laughing. The road safety advocate is cringing, but
Yeah.
the human inside me is like, oh my God, this is actually only in the Philippines, or
Only
maybe
in the
parts of
Philippines.
India. I don't know. But it's,
I don't know which part, but
yeah.
only in the Philippines. I've
Okay,
never seen it in other countries.
okay, I
Or
just need to hear
maybe there is.
say it. Don't do this. After
Don't do it.
that, okay, it
Yes.
is funny,
Please
but
don't do it. Don't do
we're not
it, guys.
ang hirap talaga when you're road safety advocate. Sometimes you really want to laugh, but it's really, it's really
Right.
it's a bad message.
I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm not trying to rain on the parade, or I'm not trying to be a party pooper for every single funny video comes up. But the thing is, it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt, right?
Gets
It's
hurt.
always the
Right.
same. Like, ah, ha, ha, ha.
Mhm.
Somebody gets hurt, you're like, oh.
Pag
Oh.
nabitawan niya
Yeah, yeah. So,
the bag,
let's move on. I don't want to be too Tito-ish about this.
it's funny, but don't do it, guys.
Yeah.
Keep it safe. Keep it secured. Hopefully on your motorbike. All right. The next one, we had road rage number 1. We also have road rage number 2. This time with a motorcyclist and a car. Boom. Boom. Wow. So
Wow.
much strength in that.
Okay, there has got to be something pretty
Deep.
significant that preceded this. The guy seems like he's up on a banqueta, right? Am I the only one
Not
seeing
not,
that? Or does
not
he
so
look like he's
sure.
like off the road halfway up a
Yes,
banqueta?
yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. This
By the
is
sidewalk.
something something
Maybe
very
almost
significant would have preceded this, but
he possibly almost hit the
yeah,
motorcyclist,
I
the
mean,
car.
we can speculate and speculate. This. I don't know, but again, this is not the answer. But this is still. I don't want. I just want to save my judgment. I don't want to get into like who I don't know, because if this guy, if let's say the car really deliberately tried, because we had this. Remember one time on not so long ago on the inbox section, what we're doing now. We had that one where the Lala Move guy cut the driver
Ah,
off.
yes, yes. The
Remember
angkas,
that? Yeah.
angkas,
And it
angkas.
looked really bad. And then somebody shared me the video of what preceded it. And
Mm-hmm.
talagang, I mean, the car really deserved. The car was super out of line, like super out of line. I don't condone violence in any way, shape, or form, but you can understand where the guy was coming from. What drove
Right.
that? Doesn't make it right, but I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can
It's
see
understandable, but
it might
a
be something like
waste.
that, but still, if this is
Still a
you,
waste of energy
yeah.
and an added migraine. Others were saying that it's probably a helmet test, and they were wondering
Or a
what
window
helmet
test.
was he
Yeah.
using. Kasi
And
ang
that's
tibay
okay.
lang.
That's another thing. All right, I need to bring this up too. Okay, if there are motorcycle riders
Sure.
out there, right? This is the dumbest thing that you can do because
Right.
once your helmet gets falls down, even if it falls from like you accidentally drop it like that on the ground, you
Right.
should give it up. You should change it already because what you'll never see and understand the hairline fractures that you get. And this is not
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. This is like industry standard communication about helmets. One if you drop it by accident on the ground, you should
Mm-hmm.
replace it. That's the rule. All right. So if you're doing this and banging on the what you call it, the window with your helmet, well, get you can imagine what that's gonna do, right? So now, if this guy has an accident with that helmet and falls, there's a chance that that helmet will just split open because it's got the hairline fractures. One more impact, oh, it's gone and it's not protecting him. So you see what I mean? Just don't
Yeah.
do it. It's not the answer. I'm not even gonna get into who's right, who's wrong, who deserved it. I'm not in for that. I'm just saying this is
No.
not the answer because you could get the guy's plate number, you could photograph it, there's so many other ways.
Yes.
Justice is slow, but it's better to deal with a slow justice system than a slow morgue system or
Mm-hmm.
deal with the coroner. Move on before I get too angry.
Okay. We're just halfway there, Tito James, because the
Good
next
shout out
one
to
is
Ron.
not
Thank
for the
you.
faint of heart. Hello. All right. The next one is not for the faint of heart, so please
Hmm?
watch with your viewer discretion is advised. The next
Okay.
one is called Please Watch Over Your Kids. And I gotta hand it to the driver for this one.
Oh,
Good reflexes. And
man,
he wasn't speeding, but yeah.
but this is exact. Oh my God! Does each one have to
Yeah.
come to the lecture? Sorry,
I
but it does.
almost had a heart attack when I
I'm
saw
sorry, I'm
this.
a parent too. I'm a parent, I'm a driver, I'm a road safety
Right.
advocate. All three
Yes.
combined in this one. This is why we always, always, always say especially when you end up built up areas, school zones, these types of areas, drive slowly, really
Right.
slowly. It may feel artificially slow and
Mm-hmm.
may feel silly, but when this happens, look, the guy can avoid.
Yes.
If he was going, let's say 40, 50, that's it. Wala na yan. Even
Yep.
even with all the reflexes in the world, there's a certain stopping distance. Physics takes over, and boom, children do this. There's no
Yes.
point blaming or whatever. This is how children do, and if not children, it's animals. If it's not animals, there's elderly people, there's drunk people. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter whose fault it is. At the end of the day, if you take a life on the road like that, you will just never forgive yourself, especially if
Right.
you know there was something that you were doing that was irresponsible. It's how I always talk to my kids. The same thing. I have two driving now, one about to get his license, and I always tell them the same
Woohoo.
thing because it gets very. You tend to feel invincible behind the wheel. Especially after you've been doing it for a little while. It's all muscle memory. It's all autopilot. You can drive with almost blindfolded already. Well, not blindfold, but it's just habit now. It's muscle
Hmm.
memory. This is why people drive home drunk and they say, "Oh, nothing happened." Diba? Oh, marunong ako. Yeah,
They
okay.
will never know.
Yes, on a normal day, you probably could get yourself home because it is muscle memory. But what
Yes.
happens when there's something just slightly out of the normal happens?
Right.
Your reflexes are 100 times
Absolutely.
slower, and then you will never forgive yourself. If you're a decent human being, you will, even if you don't go to jail, you will
Hmm.
never forgive yourself. That's what I
That's
tell my
true. It's gonna eat you up.
it will eat you up. It'll eat you up. I mean, even if it was a complete accidental death, you'll
Yep.
already torture yourself, right? As
100%.
But if you feel like you've been drinking, it's because you were drinking and you could have avoided it. You were speeding, things like that. it's game over. Your life will never be the same. Because if you do get
Right.
used to it, you'd have to build up such an awful callus in your heart and soul to be able to survive day to day looking in the mirror. And then what kind of life is that? Oh, ang lalim ng Tito Clock niya.
Woo!
And then, yes, Ivan, you're correct too. Parents should be responsible for their children. But do you see what
Right.
we're trying to avoid is getting to a situation where the blame won't matter when somebody's
Mm-hmm.
dead. You'll
Yes,
never bring anyone back.
it's
So
unavoidable.
yes, you're absolutely correct. But this is a case where just always do your part. Do your
Right.
part. That's all you can do. Now, if the worst case scenario happens, well, sometimes it does happen. At least
Mm-hmm.
you can look at yourself internally and you can examine your conscience and say, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't stoned, I wasn't drugged up, I wasn't being irresponsible, I wasn't texting, and something
Correct.
still happened. You know in your heart, you don't have to explain to anybody else. You know in your heart, okay, you can forgive yourself and move on.
Correct.
If not, it's a different story.
Oh
Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks. You got it.
All right.
Trivia
Last
today.
one. Thank you
Fun.
for that one. Last one. Is this what you call an iwas coding hack?
I think I know which one you're going to show. Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them, right?
Uli
A
ka,
lot of people do
Malbon!
that.
I mean, what bugs me even more about this is that stupid sticker on the windscreen. That looks like if I think it's what I think it is, it looks like one of those House of Representative or some kind of government seal,
Oh,
and that's just like
are
oh,
we able
God,
to zoom that in to see?
yeah, it's probably
Not
and
quite sure.
I'm willing to. It looks very much like a House of Representatives or something, some seal like that.
Or maybe one of those brotherhood groups.
Or
Sometimes.
now you just whatever it is. I'm sure that the photos, I mean, if you're behind that guy and you saw that, it's a reflection of whatever that group that he represents, right?
It's not
But
even a proper
hybrid
plate.
ka lang, kuya, para mag-iwas ng coding.
Ah. Take it from Tito James, everybody. Mag-hybrid ka na lang.
If
Para
you leave the
makaiwas.
law, you wouldn't have to do this. Oh, ngayon, pwede. Madel, of course, if they catch that, yes. This is one or the other, right? If you've got your plate, there's no reason in the world why you should put your,
Ang sinuwerte.
there's no reason.
All right. All right. Thanks for that, Tito James. That's all we got. Hello, Rocket.
Here.
Hey, boy.
Go to the couch.
Go to the couch so everyone can see you. No, he wants to be on your lap, but you know what? Since we all made it, here we go. I'd like to greet some special people. Happy birthday to my cousin Ate Len and my awesome friends Ate Joam and Nikki. Gong say Facha, everybody! Congratulations in advance to our raffle winners. Stay away from Kamote people, but choose happiness instead with some Sugar Rush. Follow my events team on social media. That's Sugar Rush Entertainment PH on Facebook and on Instagram. Or you may also shoot me a message. That's Chris Bernetta on Facebook and Krista Peñas on Instagram. And of course, have a fabulous weekend. Everybody stay safe, healthy, and hydrated. See you on the next one, everybody. Bye, Tito James. Bye, Rocket. Bye!
Bye. Thanks very much, Chris. That was Chris with the latest in headlines. And this is Rocket with, we'll go Rocket here for a second. Go there, Rocket. All right. Okay. So that was Chris with the latest in headlines here. Sorry. Never work with children or animals, right? And as we have all her details down there, we do encourage you to pop her a message if you like her voice, you want her to do some voiceovers for you, etc. We're all one big community here. We love to just sort of page things forward, pat each other's backs, create ripple effects. That's the whole idea of Titoclock, really. It's just an opportunity for us to share whatever resources we have to be able to help push us forward. We just came from a pretty horrible 2.5 years of a pandemic. of lockdown and stuff like that. Things are starting to get back to normal, or they're as close to normal as I think we're probably ever going to get. And yeah, this is just our way of little rebuilding each other. Another way, of course, is Free Plug Friday, which we love so much here, because not only do we get to see some of the greatest products that would have never been on your radar, but we also get to help small businesses that are just trying to pivot out of a crisis or pivot into something new. And this is our little way of just giving back. And then Rocket's really trying to get out that door. There's a cat door right underneath you, Rocket, if you think you can fit. Otherwise, I bet you your mom's going to be barging in that door any second now. Yeah, she's barging in. Yeah, open it up. Yeah, open it up. There you go. Oh, what a wuss. What a mama's boy this guy is. And to think it's his mom's segment as well. So this is when he wants to disrupt his mom, because he thinks he's going to get food. But little does he know, the food is all here, because we're going to be showing it to you on what we call Free Plug Friday. For that, we need X. What you got in the box there, X?
All right, hi, Tita James. We have a lot in store once again. But before we go there, I just want to say hi and advanced happy Chinese New Year to all Titoclockers. Welcome to another edition of Free Plug Friday. All right, guys, feast your eyes on the screen. So first up, we go to Potato Fi that's located in Lipa, Batangas, that started since October 2021. And they offer different types of potato snacks, from pot chips, which are essentially chips with different flavors, Kizo potato, which is a deep fried mashed potato with cheese sauce, and bacon, ham, all the good stuff, boiled egg, pineapple, and corn. Imagine that, Tita James. And even potatoes overload. I'm not really sure exactly how to pronounce that, Tita James, but it's like a nacho and potato if they were to have children together. So it's chips topped with melted cheese, ground beef, ham, and bacon bits, and so many other things. So guys, price is 89 pesos for the pot chips, and it's also 140 pesos for the potatoes. And they also accept catering should you need them at any event and occasion. Tita James, they actually wanted to send over some of their items over to the Titoclock studio, but
I'm drooling already.
Yeah, I know. Same. Like, I'm actually happy just to try the pot chips, but they're so far away, so they might not arrive as fresh.
Far, but do they deliver in Metro Manila, or
Lipa, Batangas is really far. Tita James, at least 2 to 3 hours drive.
Are they able to provide service to Manila, or is it really for Batangas residents only?
Actually, Tita James, if the Titoclockers want or are interested, they actually offer catering services if you need them at any events or special occasions. They actually can set up a booth. And the owner said they could actually send some over if they had an event here in Manila, but unfortunately, they don't have one scheduled today at this time.
That's no problem at all. That's no problem.
I know.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
A lot of people are saying, if the owner's watching, that they love the name. I saw that pop up there. I thought the name was very fresh. I think that if you're gonna, these guys, if they shouldn't have a menu, they should have a playlist. That's what they should call them. Playlist.
Exactly. They should have a playlist. Exactly, Tita James. But they already have the name, so why not go all the way, right?
Yeah,
so
right?
guys,
would you like to see our playlist? And it's potatoes, right? It's like
exactly. It's really, really smart. It just rolls right off your tongue, right? So guys, you can book them on your Facebook and Instagram. It's scrolling right underneath Tita James right now. Again, guys, Titoclockers is Potato 5 on Facebook and Instagram, and you can match them on that number that's also showing right there on the screen. So Tita James, next we go to Toe and Stow Industry. So guys, these guys have been here in Metro Manila for 10 years. They're celebrating their 10th year anniversary, and they're actually offering discounts up to 10% on products, of course, such as the Total Hitch Trail Gecko, Linex, and protective coating, as well as other products from Thule.
Wow.
And they offer, yes, TTJ, so the Dometic is also 10% up to 10% discount. And of course, they have different range of products that you can check out on their stores. It's available in EDSA, near Magallanes, and of course, the Thule, it's up to 40% discount. I'm not sure if I have Thule, but I think I already showed it here. So guys, Hope you can check them out. Their offer is only open until February 15, 2023. Again, it's in celebration of their 10th year anniversary.
Happy
Again,
anniversary.
Toe and Stone. Happy anniversary, guys.
10 years. I know
Shout
the
out.
guys at Go So too. Good
Yes,
guys.
exactly.
And so
Yeah,
they're offering
Julie,
10%.
June, Dennis.
Yeah, 10% for 10 years. I'm
10%
hanging
in
out.
the celebration 10 years.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the 100th year anniversary. So we can... I'm just kidding, of course. But no, I just wanted to say a personal congratulations to June, Dennis, the rest of the team there at Go and So. I've had some of that. There's stuff on when I used to still drive a 4-wheel drive, and yeah, good to see you're still going strong, especially after
Exactly.
Congrats.
So guys, congratulations again. Again, 10% discount on Linex, Trail Gecko, Dometic products, and up to 40% on Fully items. Again, Go and So Industries on Facebook and Instagram. Tito James, how about we go to the item that's right to your left, the steak from Joe's Beef, Tito James.
All right. Before the steak, I just want to say Linex. I've tried Linex too. I used to have that on the roof of the van. One of the best products I've ever used. It's really good. But that's nothing to do with Linex. So you're talking about this, right?
Yes, Tito James, we go to Joe's Beef, Tito James, that started in July 2020 as a hobby since the owners and his family are big steak eaters. So how about you show what they sent over? And I'm actually going to show you the packaging because it actually...
Side of the room.
There you go. There you go, Tito James.
It's so dark.
Okay, guys, while Tito James is lighting up the studio, I just want to say that these guys offer pre-cooked sous vide steak, and all the customers have to do is to sear the steak for 3 to 4 minutes, and it will be a perfect medium rare. You're right, it's really dark. I can see the light.
Right?
How about you show that?
What? Somebody might get stabbed there in the corner or something.
I think, yeah, I was wondering at some point if we paid the bills, but of course. Anyway, Tito James, how about you show them the steak? Let's show them the steak that you got.
I want to show perspective too, because
perspective. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right.
Okay, that's
wow.
Oh, and look how thick it is.
Actually,
and so,
Tito James, they have.
So this is what they call sous vide, because you gotta be pretentious when you say it. You can't just say it's spelled sous vide, right?
Yes.
So it's spelled right. That's the method.
That's correct, Tito James.
But
that's a method. That's a method of cooking.
Apparently, when you say it correctly, you say sous vide. Sous vide or not sous vide? That is the question. Now, this is I haven't tried this one in particular yet. I have tried this sous vide. I'm trying not to say it so pretentiously. I have tried. It is amazing how they do this. They cook it in the bag. Is that how it's done? Did you explain that?
Tito James, actually, they cook that in the bag. That vacuum sealed bag. That's where all the magic happens. So basically, they've done the first 15 steps for you, and all you need to do is sear it for 4 minutes and eat it. And they actually sent a salt together with the packaging as well.
Whoa! Really? Because I was in SNR today because we love eating steaks, and I was looking for rock salt, and I couldn't find rock salt. They don't have any in SNR, at least not one in BGC. So this is perfect because we're having steak tonight.
Oh, perfect!
Yes, and I hate cooking steaks without rock salt. I don't like using iodized, or even if it's a Himalayan salt. I don't like it when it's so fine. Needs to be.
Why I'm showing the salt this whole time.
I'm so excited about this. Ribeye too. I'm so excited. I'm going to let you know. Make sure that you remind me next week to follow up, to give you a follow up on this, because sous vide is a really nice way of cooking. Did they mention the price?
Yes, actually, Tito James, the price starts at 2,000 pesos for a 500-gram strip loin that serves up to 2 people, and they have other cuts available such as choice ribeye, prime ribeye, and porterhouse that can serve up to 4 people already. So it really depends. The price can go a little bit higher, but then of course it means more serving for different people, for occasions, for yourself if you're a big steak eater, or you can have it with friends and family, just like what you said, you're having it together tonight for a bunch of friends, right? For a
Yeah,
gathering.
bunch of
So
friends.
guys,
Yes, exactly. And I'll tell you something that we've been doing recently. This is something that we've been instead, because I know steak is expensive. So I know a lot of times people say, "Oh God, that's so expensive. Man, let's get chicken, pork, any other type of meat." I get that. I'm the same too, right? But what we do with steak at home is we replace it with going out. That's how we justify it. Because if you
exactly.
spend, let's say, 2,000 on this, I guarantee you, this is not for two people. For us, this will be 4 servings for us. So that's
Yes,
500 per serving. And yes, it's still pricey for a home cooked meal, but it's not pricey compared to going out to a steak. The last time I went out for a steak was right before Christmas, and we went to this fancy steakhouse. It was, and I won't mention the name because it's not. I'm not trying to, but it was nowhere near as good as what we've been cooking at home.
oh
Not
wow.
including the sous vide, and it was at least 5 times more expensive. And it
For
was just
sure, for sure.
yes. And then today, sorry to make habo my cuento, but today, right? This happens we're talking about, right? Today I was at SNR, and I saw a person with the uniform of the steakhouse that we went to
Mm-hmm.
right before Christmas, right?
Oh
Which
wow.
we enjoy because it was also covered in oil. Like they even serve it tilted because the oil drains, and the oil was
Wow.
just, if you're not into that. I mean, some people are. If you're not, it was just to even look at while you're eating was
You do realize you're making people more hungry as you're
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
sharing the story, right?
in SNR, I saw the person wearing the uniform, buying a list, obviously for the restaurant. So
Of
there's a lot of
course.
meat in there, and there were like huge bags of Ajinomoto. And I
Oh
thought,
no,
ah,
please.
you are
Oh
a
no.
little bit.
Oh.
I go.
Oh. Well, that's good. It's a
Won't
good
mention,
thing
of
that
course,
you.
the name, but it's
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. So
It's a
I
good thing that
for
you're actually
basically
cooking now.
the whole point of telling you that story is we have already preferred to cook at home. It replaces our going out meals because it's cheaper than going out, but you still get a really good quality meal. So and it's easy to
Exactly.
cook.
And there's no time limit, unlike restaurants that close at a certain time. If you want to stay there, enjoy company with your friends.
Chris,
And guys, by the way, the cooking instructions are written here, not written, but you can actually scan the QR code if you need further instructions, and it will tell you like how the storage basically. It's also here. So
okay,
storage and cooking
pros
instructions are
and
actually
cons.
written.
Okay, good. This is already thought now. All right.
So, guys, again, Joe's Beef on Facebook and Instagram. You can check them out. It's scrolling down below. Now,
Oh,
Tito James,
Joe's
last
beef.
but not the least, we go to Mama Cora's lasagna, which is the lasagna that's perfectly cut there. But to be honest, guys, to give you a little, it's actually this big, what they sent over to the studio. And it's too bad that I don't eat beef because this smells so good. I am not kidding you. Tito James, how about you try and tell the Tito Clockers how you find it?
Okay.
All right.
I should
All
really,
right. So go ahead.
because some people like to see the layers of the lasagna.
All
I don't know.
right. Can you lift it up a little bit? Yes. Okay. So guys, this comes in different sizes with the price starting at 550 pesos for the baked macaroni, because they actually serve not just lasagna but baked macaroni, and it starts at 600 pesos for a small lasagna. And both the small size of the baked mac and the lasagna can serve up to 4 people. So how do you find it, Tito James? See, that's actually where he did the cut from.
It's very good. It's slightly on the sweeter side, but not
Okay.
not party's spaghetti or party lasagna, but it leans towards the sweet side. But you can't taste the beef, you can't taste the chicken, you can't taste the tomato sauce. It's a good lasagna. It's a very good lasagna. It's just that's my only
Okay.
observation. Yeah, slightly on the sweeter side. If you like that, you're gonna love this. Mama
All
Cora.
right. Mama Chorus, guys. Again, Mama Chorus on Facebook and Instagram, you can
Allah, we
also
can see
send
all
them
the
a message.
browsers open there and the reflection of
Oh
that.
no!
Saying we can see all those sites that you've been visiting. Tan, 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 tan.
Go already, James. Awesome down here. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for this week's edition of Free Black Friday. Before you guys see anything else that's reflected on my screen, let's end the clock there while we're still good. Anyway, guys, again, stay safe and always sanitize the clockers. This is X. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, X. That was X with Free Plug Friday. And that is, of course, a staple here at Titoclock. It's just our way of helping out small businesses and also getting to try these amazing products. I mean, like stuff we didn't even know existed until we came up with this format. And we love doing it. So if you also have something that you want to showcase on here, I just want to make it clear. There's no money out for you guys at all. That's why it's called Free Plug Friday. You don't even need to send the product. Of course, it helps just so if you want us to try it and tell you about it. Otherwise, as you saw with the Spotify, potato pie, and those types of toe and stove, you don't have to. You really don't have. We're not here. We want to just help. That's all. If you send, that's great. If you don't send, we'll still help you out. It's all good. We just want to make sure that we just kick things off in the right direction. That's why we started this whole segment. So send us a message here on Deaconitis, that's Instagram, if you want to be part of the Free Plug Friday. X will get those messages and she'll schedule you. So that's all there is to it. And now we head over to our Ask Me Anything portion. All right, this is the Ask Me Anything brought to you by our friends at Petron. We're coming up with a pretty cool promo very soon. I want to talk about it, but I'm not allowed because we just filmed something and anyway, it's coming up. Whoa, what's this? Jane says, we met an accident this afternoon. I was stuck in traffic on Martin Sun Van. His friend asked the driver what happened. He told us he got lost on control. I'm just reading to myself, so it's faster. Initially, I got mad and asked the police to take a permanent one. My husband put saying that their company deal among them. Said the company didn't need to talk to the driver first. We gave them time to talk, and they're not taking any responsibility because they said we got the driver to decide to make right. No, just so you have a good sense. I go, should the company really be off? No, they shouldn't. Jeremy, your thoughts? You can't send 83,000. We agreed driver pay only 40 in the installment rates. He agreed to pay 3,000 per month. No, this company should they should be insured too. If they're driving professionally, they should be insured. So tell them that. If they're not insured, you can bring this up, and they have got to pay for this. You cannot just sort of say, "Oh, they driver natin yan." Otherwise, we'd all be doing that. We'd be hiring drivers to do all our dirty work, and then when something happens, we just say, "Oh, it's not my responsibility." That's not how the law works. So go and tell them that you're very aware that the company is responsible for the actions of the driver. If you're not insured, then you will just take them to court and file a demand letter on them. 83,000 is no joke. So I'm not sure. You say 3,000 a month. That's what? That 20% or something of the driver's salary? Maybe a little. That's too much. Then I'm sure they're not going to pay you. I'm sure. And if they do, it's just not sustainable. The company needs to pay for that. That's my opinion. All right, next. Okay, my wife and I are planning to buy our first car. Congratulations, Rindell. That's great. May family car kami na Hyundai Accent. Oh, okay. All right. Problem is we don't know what to look for in a car. And target sana namin is a 5-seater na nice enough for city driving but can climb to Baguio if needed. We are looking at the car specs. We have no idea what to look for. Okay, Rindell. First thing you got to decide is budget. That's the most important thing because we all want, but then we have to sort of taper that down to what we can afford. Everyone's in the same boat. Well, unless you are, never mind, I won't get political. But yes, for most normal people that work hard, we all have to work within a budget. So assign yourself a budget that is comfortable. Try not to spend any more than, if you can, try not to spend any more than 20-25% of what you earn into a car, because you're going to be spending about 30 plus for rent. You got to keep it within reason. So try not to go above 25% if you can. Try to keep it under that. That's for monthlies, of course, I'm talking about. Now, once you come up with a budget, you ask yourself, you're telling me you needed a 5-seater. That's good. But five-seater, if you're planning to go up to Baguio, you need a five-seater with luggage. So five-seater, yes, trunks, they do come with a trunk. But if you're filling up a car with five and you've got kids, you're going to have more luggage than normal. So you might want to consider something like a one of those MPVs, those mini MPVs. Let's just work. I don't know what your budget is, but let's just work on the Hyundai Accent. It's around about $1 million. Consider maybe the Ertiga, the Suzuki Ertiga. That's a nice model because you've got the 7 seats if you need it. You've got 5 full seats if you don't, right? Plus huge, good luggage space. I wouldn't say huge, but bigger than a sedan. So that would take your 5 plus. It would take also the luggage for everyone. That's more than enough to get you up to Baguio and back, etc. Not going to have a drama with that. Plus, it's a hybrid, so you don't also have. You're going to fall under the Avida law, and you won't have any problem with coding. That will save you buying yourself another car or trying to commute on the days that you don't. All right. So there you go. That would be off the top of my mind, based on limited information. I would go Suzuki Ertiga. Hi James, good afternoon and happy New Year. You're a fun parent too, so I decided to ask you: have you ever been to a pet-friendly mall only to be told by several restaurants? X, you want to pipe in on this? Because it happens to her all the time.
Okay.
I
What's the
don't
question?
normally bring my pets to the mall only because I have a cat, and yeah, the cat doesn't want to go to the mall. It's too snobbish and too social. But X has this problem all the time.
All right. Right. It's very tricky with the malls, to be honest. Like, for example, I go to a mall. Let's just make Rockwell as an example. So, Power Plant Mall actually allows for babies, dogs. So, Rocket, I bring him with me. But then there are certain restaurants that I cannot take him inside. For example, I don't want to name names, but something like Via Mare would only allow him in places in their outside or alfresco dining area. Whereas, of course, another one would be Refinery. Refinery also is pet friendly, but they only allow dogs to be outside. It's a little bit tricky. Let's say there are also restaurants inside the mall itself. Let's say there's
Basil.
Manam. Basil actually allows, but for example, somewhere like Manam or Mary Grace, they will only allow the dogs to be seated in their alfresco seats outside, even though
Which is
the
weird.
dog's fully vaccinated with valid ID, even if he's wearing a diaper, has a leash, all the bells and whistles that you can think of. They're just a little bit tricky when it comes to those types of things. Even Din Tai Fung, it's kind of weird
Loy,
like that. So
Lois,
Rockwell. Oops,
Lois.
hi. I'm not trying to hate on Rockwell. I love
No, no,
Rockwell.
no.
Please don't ban us. But yes, Roy can actually confirm and attest. There are some establishments and restaurants that will only allow dogs to, be allowed inside up to a certain point in their restaurants. So yeah, even some stores actually they don't allow them. It's a little bit tricky. So you really have to find out which stores allow and which ones don't, because it really does. It can hurt your feelings, but then it's their rules. We have to respect that.
Yeah,
So there.
I'm getting the vibe from Deej. I don't think she's like not respecting the rules or questioning the rules. I think she just,
Yes.
like most people, just wants clarity because once you get
Encountered.
there, yeah, just
Yes.
clarity so that and consistency. I
Consistency,
agree.
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, let's take it from the side of the restaurants. Let's just be open minded and take it from there because we're pet lovers. It's easy for us to just go, you should allow dogs. Yes, but Rocket is a great dog to bring around. He doesn't shed, hypoallergenic. He doesn't bother
Exactly.
anyone, etc.
No,
But
it's very quiet.
not all breeds are created the same way. So now
Exactly.
that, and then you have a really kulit dog. How do you say later? I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes. What I find a little weird though is like with Din Tai Fung, you've got this. They say you're allowed, but in their outdoor area. Their outdoor area is inside. It's not. It's not like Refinery where it's outside. The outdoor area
Yes.
is in the same air conditioned mall than their indoor area. It's separated by a wall that's waist high. There's nothing that you protect yourself from that dog. It's still there with your customer. So come on, that's where I would like to see a little bit of maybe common sense. It doesn't in or out. There's no difference. It's like having a smoking section and a non-smoking section, but no glass in between. What's the point, right? You're separated by a wall that's waist high. You'd just be like, I can still smell the cigarettes. So the same with the dog. It's either you do or you don't. But I would like to see them basically, and he's correct. Lloyd's correct. It is one of the most pet-friendly communities I've ever seen. The dogs, especially around that little park area, they walk all around. Everybody, it's 5 o'clock. It's full of dogs and stuff like that. But yes, I think what Deej is asking for is a little consistency and maybe some more clarity so that you don't get put in that awkward situation where you meet your friends there, and they book the restaurant, then you go there and then your dog's not allowed in. What do you do then? That's it. I was waiting for a reaction. It's apparently
Oops, sorry. I thought we were done. But yes, actually, that's true. It has to be very consistent. They have to just be consistent. Actually, that's it. So that you're not
No
left
hate.
guessing, right?
No
Right?
hate,
No
no
hate.
shade.
Like in Rockwell, there's the grid. They really say no pets allowed. That's no problem because they
You see,
established that rule
understood.
early
Yeah,
on.
that's a good
Understood.
example. No pets allowed in
Healthy
the grid.
options,
Yeah.
same. Healthy options, same. Not a restaurant, but there are fresh goods there. But kind of the same. They're very consistent in their messaging. Unlike some restaurants, it's a little bit weird. So I get Tej, I get where you're coming from, but yeah, it's hard. It gets hard sometimes.
But
All right.
one thing good about this, Deej, is having these conversations does help. You see, when you have these conversations rationally and logically without, like you brought it up with us, we talked about it. Nobody's slamming, nobody's, throwing shade or hate or anything like that. It's a legitimate conversation that you see. Lois here from Rockwell just happens to be, we don't know who else is listening. And then they bring it up in their meetings and they talk and they say, okay, well, maybe there is a point. And they start reshaping policy. That's all we want to create here. So thanks for bringing that up, Deej. Next. Mr. James, I want to ask if by any chance stores are allowed to impose a minimum balance purchase to use a debit card. I only know of a 2010 law stating it only applies to credit cards, but if not sure if foreign stores are allowed to impose such a minimum for debit, letting you know, baka kasi makahelp for awareness this incident happened somewhere. I'm not aware of the law. I won't pretend I am, but I find it really, I find it strange. If you accept a debit card, you should just accept a debit card. What are we talking about? I mean, the other day I was in Singapore, and I didn't have any Singapore dollars on me, and I went to pay with a convenience store. I went to pay for a buko juice and a small tub of yogurt at the counter, and he said no. He said that's too small. So it does happen, not just here. He said it was too small to use your credit card or debit card there. I don't know if he said debit, to be fair. He said he can't. But you know what he did? When I was looking through my wallet, trying to figure out how to pay him, he said, "What's that?" And I said, "That's pesos." He said, "Okay, pay with that." And I did. I paid. I gave him a 500 peso note, and he gave me back change in Singaporean dollars. And I got a decent rate too. It was really nice. But to answer your question, I don't know if there's a law. I just think that, it's a small thing to fight about. So I just don't know why establishments, how often is this happening? Is it driving you bankrupt? Because sometimes the fact that the whole customer service aspect to it is worth it. If you get hit with a 2 peso, 3 peso charge, or 3% of what the minimum charge is, just wear it na lang, sana. And then just charge it to customer service and marketing and goodwill. So that's just my opinion, but I can't back it up with the law. You see, the Daisy, the one with the minimum charge for GCash, that's totally unacceptable because I did ask GCash that, and they said no, that is not. They shouldn't be doing that, and they could possibly lose their corporate account because of that. They're not allowed to do that with GCash. No, Oligar. Okay, I'm glad you asked this. No, it doesn't. But I did say in the review multiple times that it is a mild hybrid. So I just want to make that clear. A mild hybrid is quite different from what you're probably used to. It's nothing like the Kicks. It's also nothing like the Prius or the Corolla Cross. It is what they call, it doesn't drive the wheels. So the battery, it doesn't have any connection to the wheels or anything like that. All it does is the engine. It's a combustion engine. That's what's driving the car. Just consider it a combustion engine. But if you do store power in a battery pack, it adds that power to the engine to be able to power up certain things in the car, but it is not a full hybrid like you're used to with Corolla Cross. So no plugging in, but also I wouldn't also expect the same savings that you're going to get with a traditional hybrid. There you go. Okay, Enrico, glad you saw the review, and I'm glad it makes sense because we just want to be as transparent as possible with people because, yeah, these are the biggest, second biggest purchase most people make in their life. What's your take on those random street side anti-smoke belching checks, Lord Jun? I think they are redundant. I think they send the wrong. They cause traffic. They're another opportunity for corruption. I think they are very inefficient, and it sends the wrong message. The wrong message being you're supposed to get an emission check once a year when you register your car, right? So by them checking you on the side of the road, they're basically saying they don't trust those emission tests. That's the message I receive. But it's still from supposedly the same agency, right? Supposedly LTO. So why are we faced? If that's the case, let's just say that all those emission centers are corrupt and just handing out certificates. Why should we, as the end user, pay for that by being checked twice? Fix that internally. Fix it, make sure that they do the job properly the first time, and don't make Damai the owner of the car the second time because you couldn't do it right the first time. I hope that makes sense, because that's where I sit with that whole thing. It's like walking into a store and then saying, the guard asks you, may resibo ka ba? When you walk out, and you're like, oh, meron. You show him the receipt. Baka fake to, we have to check again. What? What do you mean? Well, we've been known that our cashiers fake these things. Anong pakialam ko dyan? Fix it with your cashiers. I got this receipt. I acted in good faith. Why do I have to do this twice? Just because you don't trust your own system or your own staff. Rant over. God, that got me going. Oh, it's already calm. Yes, they are, Christopher. Not all. Glad you asked this too, because I did get a proper answer for this just the other day because we happened to have lunch with Suzuki when they officially launched the car, and it was a question that was really burning in my mind because I'll be very honest, I was confused too. I thought this is too mild a hybrid to include, but the difference is as long as it's in your ORCR and the word hybrid is on there, it's fine. An example of the opposite is the Geely. I think it's the Okabanco that they were talking about on the table. It's either, let's just use Okabanco, but I might be wrong with the model, but let's just say Okabanco because it is a mild hybrid too. That does not say on the ORCR that it's a hybrid, so it cannot go under the Avida law. So that's what distinguishes that. That's the only thing that makes it. If you can show that to the LTO, it's on your ORCR directly from the place of manufacture that is hybrid, then you are exempt. If not, tough luck. I'm glad that came up. I feel good now. I got to use that knowledge. Hey, it's almost everyone's favorite time. It is raffle time! Oh, she's too polite to do it. Yuck. Wow, yucky. Okay, I'll give you a little bit, all right? But you see how he's too polite to eat from my mouth? All right, chew there. You chew well there. You chew well, Rocket. Okay, you ready? You ready, Rocket time? All right. Is Rocket... This guy should be not a hybrid-powered rocket. All right, Rocket, you ready? Okay, do your stuff. This is for that polo shirt. And if Carlo Ople is out there, he said this is the most Tito thing to ever raffle, but he joined. Takes one to know one, Carlo. I love Polo Ralph. Brian Lee, congratulations. Hope you're size M. That's still in the box. It's still fresh. It's still new. Never been worn. Saw the size. Went, can't fit into that. So congratulations, Brian. You're walking away with that. You're going to be a sharp-dressed man. Next, we have the, I think it's the Lamborghini cap. Oh, look, they turned the lights on again. Nice. Ready? You want to be fed. These people over here. So part of the quiet quitting, silent resignation, anti-work movement. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is what those Reddit subforums are talking about. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Up there. What? Oh. Juan Rigelino. Congratulations to, is that it? That's it. Congratulations to our 2 winners of the raffle prize today. Thank you to the Global Dominion, Petron, Auto Kit, Ogawa, Malayan Insurance, and of course, Skinaway for supporting the show. We thank you so much. We couldn't do the show without you. And oh yeah, of course. The winner has 24 hours to claim his or her prize. Send a message to this little critter over here. This critter there checks his messages apparently every day, looking for fan mail and stuff like that. And he does a lot of surfing for salons that does perms and stuff like that. So send him a message if you are the winner. Only if you're the winner. Send a screenshot using the account that you won with, so we know it's the same person. And we'll take care of the rest. You know, you can either pick it up from here, or we also send it by with Lala Move to you as well. So we just want to, that's just our way of saying thanks. So from everyone here, including the Rocketeer, we thank you very much for tuning in. See you later, guys. See you next Friday. Happy weekend, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile, while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead. It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop and talk